Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Sandra, yeah, Missouri, that's where I thought you were from. Okay, let us know where you're from again if you didn't already. Happy New Year's Day. It's going to be a good day. Joanne's in Hayworth, heading to Arizona in the next couple days. You hear me? Mindy, are you at work, Mindy? Are you watching from work? Good for you. Sneak into the bathroom if you got to watch us because this is going to be good stuff. Hi, Sarah. Comment below when you join in here. It looks like people can hear me. And tell us, while we're waiting for people, tell us what time you went to bed last night. Did you stay up and watch the ball drop? Natalie's from Kentucky. Blair's in Peoria. Mindy's in Iowa. What time did you... By the way, feel free to ask questions anytime. Raleigh. Gail's on. What time did you go to bed? 12:40 in the morning. Woo! 4 a.m. Rita, what are you doing up till 4 a.m.? What are you doing until 4 a.m.? You better have been in Times Square, April 1:30. Blair, what are you doing at 3? Nothing good happens. At least, maybe you're in the house. Okay. Went to bed at 3. Holy cow, Professor. Past 1 a.m. I was in bed by 10 p.m. My daughters outlasted me. Sarah, 1:30 or so. You're crazy. You guys are crazy. Robin, now you're more like me, Robin. 9 p.m. Let's go to bed. Who else was up at 2? Welcome, Justin. What time did you go to bed? Sandra went to bed at 12. Hey, Tanya. All right, cool. Glad you're here. Sleep by... Joanne was asleep by 9. I think she wins for earliest. And Blair at 3 a.m. or Rita maybe was 4 a.m. at the latest. I'm not sure who wins there, but... All right, more people are jumping on here. What time did you go to bed and where are you from here? I went to bed at 10. My wife went to bed at 12:30. My youngest went to bed at 12:15. And my oldest went to bed at 11:40. I was like, dude, honey, if you're going to stay up to 11:40, at least get to midnight. So Marsha went to church last night. Justin, 1 a.m. Man, that's late. I don't even think I could stay up till 1 a.m. if I tried. Listen, glad you guys are here. I know more people will be joining us. I know other people are at work. I want to honor you for showing up on time. It's how we're going to roll here. Show up on time and we'll get right rolling. So happy New Year's. It's 2020. It's unbelievable that it is 2020. I want this best decade ever, and I know you do too. So you're only up to get your kid back. Okay, yeah, feel free to ask questions or comment during the whole time that I'm talking. I want this to be fun for us. Who wants this to be fun? Life should be full of joy. My whole life is following in the footsteps of a leader who is all about joy. Look, when I move my chair, you can see a little light on the wall back there. We haven't painted our wall. This is the last room to be painted. We just moved into this house 2.5 months ago. We painted the entire house except this room. And they kicked me into this room for today because all the kids got friends over. Kim was up till 3:30. That's insane. Okay, Amy, welcome. So we want this to be fun. And I want you to feel like you're proud of yourself for showing up. That is a small victory in and of itself. You'll hear me say a lot that you should celebrate your life and celebrate even the smallest of victories. Because why? We take the time to ruminate even on the stresses and the worries and the anxieties, don't we? And so can you not wear an Illinois shirt? No, man. I bleed orange, Mindy. Right? We constantly stress out and worry over the anxious things. Why can't we think about the small victories? So listen, be proud of yourself for showing up. Tell yourself, actually use the words, man, I'm proud of myself for showing up. Because in 2025, you're going to have a lot of dreams, just like today. You're going to have a lot of thoughts and ambitions and aspirations. and you're going to wish you had started in 2020. And guess what today is? You're starting. So pat yourself on the back. If you're watching with somebody, pat them on the back. What's up? And congratulate them for showing up today. And so we want it to be fun. We want it to be joyful. The whole process to be that way. We're going to give giveaways every month. I've never done anything like this before, by the way. I've never done this every single week for a group of people, but that's what I plan on doing. And we'll do giveaways about once a month, some big giveaways. I have all kinds of courses and academies and stuff that I've been publishing for the past 20 years online to help people move their lives faster. We'll do some giveaways there, do some coaching call giveaways. The light behind me looks like a cross. You are anointed. Here, I'll get it right over my head. So that's the North Star. I can't get it on my forehead, otherwise it'd be like Hindu. We got no curtains in this room. So I can't help that. I said, you know what we ought to do? My daughter's over there. We ought to give a big giveaway just right away, right off the bat. So I was going to do this randomly. I was going to give it away at some point. Just might as well do it now, right? And to honor those who showed up on time. But instead of doing it randomly, I have decided, I just got news that one of the people in this group, a married couple, they have, hi Amy, I got my computer over here. If you see me looking over here, I'm looking online. Who's here? Just gave $3,000 to a nonprofit, which brings their total near $10,000 to a nonprofit. These are the kinds of people that should be rewarded in life. So what I'm going to do is reward this person, if they think it's a reward, Elizabeth and or her husband, with a free year of coaching. So every 2 weeks or so, twice a month, we will get on the phone together and talk for 30 minutes or so and move your life forward and fast track it, even at the speed of light, really, through the strategies and coaching techniques that we can use. So we'll get all that set up and I'll give you a call or a text or whatever, but congratulations on that. So let's go ahead and launch right into our best year, best decade ever. Yeah, that is awesome. Everybody, you know what? Listen to this. You really ought to celebrate other people's lives. When you can evolve to a point in your life, Mark Twain once said, you can tolerate other people's successes. A friend tolerates their friend's successes. I read that maybe 15 years ago and I thought, you know what? I want to get to the stage where I am so happy for my friends. They do something really good. They get some reward. I don't care if it's money, marriage, medical, mood. They're so happy. Pay attention to people who are happy for you when you're happy and get celebrated. Right? You know you're evolving then. So let's launch right in. I asked you to pick 2 big goals or dreams or whatever you want to call these things. Right? Don't call them New Year's resolutions because they don't work. So pick 2, and we're going to have you type down below your 2. Yeah, you need to go public with this. If you want to keep it general, you can, but I'm going to ask that you make it specific with me because that's the best way that I can help you. I'm going to help you all year long. So I think we got 68 or 70 or so signed up right now. If 50 people drop out, like this is like if you ever run one of those ultra marathons, 50 miles, 100 miles, people drop out of the race. They don't think they're going to drop out of the race, but they drop out of the race. If it's just you and me, I'm going to get you to the finish line. You just hang with me. But I need to know what those 2 are. So down below, type the 2 things you want to pick. I think I listed some examples online. Let me see if I can pull them up here while you're thinking. I want you to tell the group and tell me what you are picking that you want help that if you achieve these two things, it would be your best year ever and on your way to your best decade ever. It doesn't mean it's exactly what you want in life, but it's what you want right now. Let's see where I'm at. Okay. I can't find it. But I mean, it can be anything, right? I guess people are already typing in. Okay, so I see better health, relationship, healthy living. I've lost 112 pounds. I want to lose. Holy cow. So somebody has lost 112 pounds and wants to lose another 100. Is that amazing? That's just amazing. Way to go. You want to get healthy and fit. You want mindset mastery. Okay. Healthy and fit. Yeah, I think I put healthy. I put some general stuff like be healthy and fit, find work you love, get laptop income, grow your business. What else did I say? Get in the best shape of your life, mindset mastery, experience the ultimate marriage, double your happiness. So mindset mastery would be controlling your emotions. You are the quality of your emotions. So you want to be more joyful, you want to be more present, you want to be happier, you want to be kinder, you want to experience those emotions. You want to get married. Okay. So pick two. Let me scroll through these. Now, if you're putting things like losing weight, I want you to try to be more specific. Like, I want to lose 44 pounds. If you're trying to gain muscle, say, I want to try to gain 20 pounds of muscle. And you're like, how do I measure that? Well, we're going to coach you through that over the next few months. I'll have you go in and measure your body fat, right? Whatever, to gain your muscle. If you say the ultimate marriage, by that, do you mean you want to get married this year? Or do you want to experience a marriage on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the ultimate, 9 and 10 being the ultimate? Right? See, we need to measure this. And 1 being horrible, you want out of this thing. You want to escape. And 5 being measurable is like boring. What number would you give it? Because I need to know. I need to be able to ask you in a month, and 2 months, and 3 months. What number are you at? Is it ultimate, right? So health and fitness. A lot of people are picking health and fitness. What does that mean for you? Does that mean you're going to be at a certain body weight? Does that mean you're going to beat cancer? I don't know what that means. So be as specific as you can. Life purpose, you know what you're doing. Get married to my best friend who I can be myself with. Make money with work I love. Yeah, so Marsha's in one of my online programs to make money with work you love. That's what she's talking about. April, financial security. Okay, I want you to start thinking about what that means, April, financial security. What number do you need to get at do you think you're going to have financial security? Because I'm friends with a lot of millionaires who do not feel financially secure. You want to have a 10 out of 10 marriage. You want to get engaged by the end of the year. Okay, so listen, put your 2 up there. Be as specific as possible. I'm going to hand you it's really a 6-figure framework, maybe a 7-figure framework. I don't know if there's any coaches or consultants or entrepreneurs out there, but you should write this framework down and you can use this for your own practice. It'll make you, I can't make guarantees because I don't know if you're an alien, but listen, this is a framework that you can use to coach people with. And you can use this for your own marriage, and you can use it when you look in the mirror and you're asking yourself about your life. You ever freaking out about your own life? You can use this framework for that. You can use it on your kids. You can use it whatever. And the first part of the framework is clarity. Clarity. Is that backwards to you? It's backwards to me when I look on the phone. Yeah, so clarity. And clarity is the first thing. And you now are getting clarity. So increase my impact through my work. What does that mean? Do you want 1,000 people by the end of the year? Do you want to go do 3 retreats? What's enough money? Does that mean $20,000? Does that mean $30,000? You see what happens is we get generic with our goals and our dreams and we'll hit the generic. We won't even know if we hit it. And what happens is most people are afraid to be specific because then they're going to be held accountable. And I'm going to hold you accountable. But you don't have anything to be afraid about. It's just your brain freaking out because you don't know if you're going to be able to get there. But this framework's going to get you there. So these are your two, and these two will give you clarity. You will now know what you want. So whenever I coach somebody, I say, what is it that you want? What is it that you want by the end of this session? What is it that you want by the end of this year? What would it take for you to experience your best year or best decade ever? You always start with clarity. So what is clarity? If your kid sits down freaking out, say, hey man, what is it that you want? You have to establish agreement. And that's what I'm trying to do with you, is get in agreement with you, and you get into agreement with me. Aaron, this is exactly what I want to be held accountable for. So what is it? Update 45. Okay, now some of you are getting more specific. 50 pounds, 45 pounds. If you said financial security, what does that mean? Now, I also want you to make sure as you write these down, friends, that they're your goals. Because usually these are borrowed goals. You're borrowing them from your friends, your family, borrowed from colleagues. You're trying to impress people that really don't care, you know? So make sure they're your goals. Okay, I'm not going to read through all these, but I'll go back and I will read them and I'm going to write them down. You just got to be as specific as possible. So, look, clarity. You need to be super clear on what you want. When I was in public speaking class in college, my professor said, Aaron, it's called the 2 a.m. test. If I call you, because I speak on Sundays, if I call you at 2 a.m. on Sunday morning and wake you up and you answer your phone, this was back before cell phones, and I say, in one sentence, less than 5 seconds, tell me exactly what your talk is going to be all about. Can you tell me? That's the dominant thought, crystal clarity. And that's what I'm asking. You got to be super specific. If you are specific, you know if you hit it or not. Okay, no more panic attacks and find more joy. Okay? Very good. So specific. So that's step number 1. Was that easy or what? Step number 2 is commitment. This is an absolute must. You got to be committed. So write that down. You got to be committed. Listen, I'm committing to you. I am committing to you. What's up, Chubb? You have to go back and watch a little bit of the beginning if you're jumping in here late. I'm committed to you. What's going to happen is we're going to paint this wall tomorrow. Paint all these walls. Finally, we're going to paint this last wall, maybe hang up some curtains. And your name is going on my wall. That's how much. I'm not painting your name on the wall. I'll write your name on a piece of paper, and I'm going to write your goals or your dreams next to your name. Why would I do that? Nobody's going to come in here and look, okay? Nobody but me, and my wife will be in here. She may know some of you, but she probably won't know most of you. I'm going to write your name and your goals on the board. I'm not going to ever take a picture of it. I'm never going to share it on social media. I'm just going to have it up on my wall because I care and I want to pray for you every night. My kids will probably pray for you on occasion. My wife will probably pray for you and your goals every now on occasion. Okay? I'll pray for you every night. I'm committed to you. Then every Wednesday at 7 p.m., which I've never done these lives at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday. So who knows how many people can show up on 7 p.m. on Wednesday, but the idea is if you show up, you get extra attention, you get interaction, because I'm going to leave lots of space, however much space you need, to ask me questions to move you faster. Aaron, I got this problem. Aaron, I got this issue. This person's showing up this way. I'm not getting supported here. How do I make another, $5,000 this month? What do I need to do? And I'll just hold you accountable. I'll ask you some questions. I'll bring the brilliance out in you. In every session, that's about 50 times I'm going to show up. I'm committed. 7 p.m. Central Time. That's right. I got to go to bed sometime. 7 p.m. So I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to put your name on my wall, not in paint. Then I'm going to show up every Wednesday at this time, just like this. And I'm going to get 5 minutes to 15 minutes of super specific training and coaching, motivation to move your life forward. And then I'm going to take questions for 20, 30 minutes or 2 minutes, however, if you don't have any questions. And then that's it. It's going to be under 45 minutes every time, because I'm not even going to train longer than 15 minutes most of the time. I'm going to give you super practical stuff. And then we're going to give you an action step that week specific for your goal so you can take action within each week. You get it? Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Listen, I want to help you. I want to hold you accountable, but you got to be committed. I can't help you unless you commit. So if you are committed, type underneath this video, I am committed. I'm committed. You can put I'm committed. I'm committed, period. I'm committed to this best year, best decade ever. I'm committed. So type I'm committed if you are. Little strawberry protein drink. All right, I see. I'm committed. I'm committed to show up and do the work. I'm committed. I'm committed to show up and do the work. I'm committed. So you got to be committed. You understand this, right? Like, you could have Tony freaking Robbins in your living room saying everything that he knows in a hyped up way. And if you're not committed, nothing's going to happen. You could have Jesus. I mean, if you read the New Testament, Jesus wouldn't even heal people who weren't committed to getting healed. You have to be committed. So if this sounds like I'm yelling at you, I'm just a little passionate. Is this stuff I suck at in life? Stuff I failed at? I just wasn't committed. There you go. Create an online program. Beautiful. You are getting specific. You got to commit to yourself. You got to commit to getting coached. You got to commit to this group, because this group will be inspired by your work. Just think if in 2 months you hit a major goal here. They're going to be like, wow, okay, people are hitting this. I can do this too. Sometimes you just got to be committed to getting out of bed, because it's hard to get out of bed in life. So look, New Year's resolutions, they don't work. 25% will give up. What is today, Wednesday? They'll give up by next Tuesday. That's the data. 50% will give up within 3.5 weeks. And 92%, listen to this, make the same New Year's resolutions every single year for 10 consecutive years without any success. It's because they're not committed. There's endorphins released when the ball drops at midnight and they get all excited. Everybody gets excited. That's why I told you to be proud of yourself for showing up today. You never rise to the level of your hopes, dreams, aspirations, or New Year's resolutions, or maybe even prayers. You always fall to the level of your commitment and your patterns. Okay, so here's my motto. Maybe you want to write this on your wall somewhere. I have stuff written on my walls everywhere. Is this: commit first and figure out the rest later. Commit first, figure out the rest later. Because everybody wants to know, well, how am I going to do it? How am I going to start my business? How am I going to create that online program? What am I going to do? And they start freaking themselves out. That's right, giving up isn't an option. How many of you do that? You start freaking out and you're overwhelmed because you're thinking, oh my gosh, best decade ever, best year ever. How am I going to do that? Can't think that way. Commit first. Figure out the rest later. What are you committing to? You're committing to what you're clear on. That's why you go clarity first, right? And look, I don't care. This is a framework you can use for yourself, for other people. Then you commit. So when you started riding a bike as a kid, did you figure it all out first, or did you commit? You committed. Why'd you commit? Because it was fun. You thought it was going to be fun until you scraped your knee. I about killed myself on my bike. And you just committed, and then you figured it out. Right? That's what you did. When I play the game of Risk, I tried to convince my family to play Risk last night. That would have kept me up till midnight. We played Scrabble or some word game last night. When I played a game Risk, you have to own countries to win. I've always committed, before the game is ever started, I will own Australia. I commit. If I'm either going to own Australia or I will be out of the game in the first 5 minutes. Because I'm committed. Because I know if I can own Australia, I have a good shot at winning that game. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to own because all the other continents are huge, they're massive, and everybody's think I'm going to get all of that. No, I'm committed to one little slice. That's what I'm asking you to do. When you had a baby, or if you've had a baby, when I had my first kid, I had no idea what I was doing. And if I can just share a secret with you, I still don't know half the time what I'm doing. They think I know what I'm doing. But they told us on day 2 after the birth that we needed to bring the kid home. And I literally looked at the nurses and said, wait a minute, we're supposed to bring the kid home? Like I was in a panic attack. We put the kid in the back seat. Listen, when you have a kid, you adopt a kid, you adopt a dog. You don't know what you're doing, even if you read 50 books. But you what? Committed. You commit. So, you got it? Commit first, figure out the rest later. Number 3, third thing you got to do is you got to get outside input. You got to get a coach, a mentor. I don't care what you call it. Him, her. You have to have a coach. All the greats go through this framework, by the way. Have everything on this framework. See if you can answer this question. In the year 2000, I was sitting in a graduate study class, and the professor's first day asked us, who's been the greatest influence in your life? The greatest professor or teacher or whatever influence in your life. He actually printed that one question out on a sheet and had us write in the answer. So I want to have you. Who's been the greatest influence in your life up to date? Type below. Yeah. Who's been the greatest influence? One person. Gandhi. Who? I don't know. Let's see some names. Who's been a great influence? Maybe not the greatest, just, okay, my mom, my mentor, Colleen. Here they come. My mom. The greatest influence in your life. Former boss, a dad, elementary teacher, my mother. Yeah. Good. Keep them coming in. So look. Oh, your son. How about that? Oh, that's sweet. Hey, Grant Cardone. Yep. I've been to the 10X conference, Quint. Thinking about going this year. Who's going to be there? The guy that started in Jumanji, Kevin Hart's going to be there this year. So look, grandfather, is he still at Little Galway? So look, his answer was, if you said anybody but your mom, you might need to go to a mental institute. I don't know if I agreed with him or not. But I had put my mom in there, and she has been my greatest influence for both good and bad. Okay? She influenced me negatively and positively. I lost both my parents, and when I lost my dad in 2001, I realized I needed guidance in my life because I was broke in so many different ways. I was broke spiritually. I was a Christian. I'm still a Christian. And I worked in the church, and I was still broke. I felt totally unfulfilled and felt empty and had all these whacked, crazy beliefs in my head, and I needed help. I was broke. I was broke financially. My wife and I were over $100,000 in debt. And it was crazy. Like she would go buy a couch. So then I was so immature. I'd be like, well, if you got a couch, then I get to go buy, some clothes. Well, she goes, so you got to buy that. I get to buy this. Now, well, then I get to buy a projector. And then I get to buy, we go into debt over this stuff. Yeah, Mindy's dad died. Sorry for your loss. For sure. So I was broke. Over $100,000. And that's not including my house. Career. I had no idea what I was doing in my job. None. I needed help. Physically, how many of you have ever done this? You gain 15 pounds, you lose 15 pounds. You gain 15 pounds, you lose 15 pounds. I was constantly going up, 30, down to 0. People can't believe it when I tell them that, but absolutely was doing that. For years I did that. And now I'm in the best shape of my life for the past 7 years. What happened? I got a coach. My mindset, I would wake up anxious and worried and stressed out in my life. I remember interviewing at a job. It was a church of about 4,000 people. And they wanted me to come and be the speaker every week. And so they interviewed me. It was in the .com era, late 90s, early 2000s. And so it was one of the super wealthy places in the world. And they brought me in and they put me through the ringer, right? They had Pandy and I, my wife, take all kinds of personality profile tests, Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, you name it. Stuff I'd never heard of before. Sent us to a psychologist, PhD guy, and he got the results back and talked to the employers and said, this guy would be a perfect match for your description. There's just one thing. I can't figure out why, but he's anxious. And I'm sitting there thinking, I feel like I need to take a shower. This guy knows me. I was always anxious. How many of you ever feel anxious and you can't stop worrying? That was me back then. Couldn't sleep. Medical. My dad got cancer. My grandpa had cancer. My uncle has cancer. My other uncle got cancer. My older brother got cancer. And some of them in their 40s. And so I'm sitting here thinking in my 30s, okay, is this just genetic destiny? Or is there something I can do about it? So I went out and found somebody and did some research and got a mentor and coach. And I come to find out some of it is genetic, but a lot of it is the relationship between the mental and the protein expression in your DNA. So a lot of your DNA goes unexpressed. A lot of proteins never get expressed. And usually what's expressed is anxiety and stress and worry, releasing certain proteins that creates dis-ease. So you're at dis-ease, you're anxious and worried, and that dis-ease eventually creates disease. So I'm like, I got to get control of the mental. At least I got a shot then, right? My marriage, it lost a lot of sizzle. Been with her a long time. How can you not lose sizzle, right? So I didn't want to just spend the rest of my days in a monotonous relationship, right? It's just kind of there. And now every morning that we go to work, I walk her out. I blast the music to love songs. I walk her out to the car. When she gets home, if I'm home, I will run out to greet her and give her a great big hug. What happened? I needed a coach, man. My friends, I felt alone when they left and moved out of the country. The problem is, hey, do you ever feel this way with any of this? Can you relate? And if you ever start a business, watch what happens with your friends. It's like the crabs in a bucket. You ever heard the crabs in a bucket? You put like 10 crabs in a bucket. Eventually, one of them's going to try to climb out of the bucket. What do the other crabs do? They reach out and they pull the crab down so they can never escape to new life and new territory. And you become the 5 people that you surround yourself with the most. So you got to be careful about the crabs you're with. So what did I do? Look, I'm telling you all that because I sought out coaches and mentors. I spent literally tens of thousands of dollars doing that. And what I really wanted, like in my PhD, what I really wanted is not all the classes. I wanted someone to sit down with me, put their arm around me and say, hey man, this is how you live your life. I'll help you. That's what I really wanted. There's one person in this group that went to life coaching school with me. $4,000, something like that. Spent little over $10,000 just trying to equip myself. How do you do that stuff? When it comes to finances, when I'm stuck in anything, I seek out mentors and help, and that's what I'm encouraging you to do here. Is you need a coach or a mentor or someone that will help you. Andy Stanley is a big proponent of coaches and mentors. He says you're never going to maximize your potential, even if you're the best in your field, without a coach. Bill Gates has a coach. Oprah Winfrey, they all the greats have these coaches. And so my point is, I don't know about you, but I've made so many mistakes. And whenever I make some mistakes on my own, I know there's people who wanted to sign up for this thing, but pride or embarrassment or they didn't want to think that they need help. We all need help. Because if you go at it alone, you're just going to make mistakes. And if you get a coach, you're going to make mistakes. But it's going to take you a lot longer if you go at it by yourself. Would you agree with that? So I'd rather learn from other people's mistakes these days. Now, look, here's what I'm going to say to you. I've offered this for free, and it is for free. And whenever people offer things for me for free, if you're like me, I raise an eyebrow, I get a little suspect. So let me tell you why I'm doing this for free. Happiness. I am most happy when I'm helping people. And that's why, on my birthday, I'll go to nursing homes with my family. I drag them with me because it's my birthday, man. I get to decide. And I hand out wrapped presents. Why would I do that? Because there was one birthday in my mid to late 20s where, in my mind, I had everything. A lot of people looking at me, this guy has nothing. I just gotten a brand new motorcycle. I was free. I was living in a bigger house than I ever had before. I thought I was happily married. My first child was on the way. Just a lot of good things were happening. And on my birthday, I went out for a motorcycle ride and I laid under a tree and I was so sad. I felt miserable. And it was because I was just thinking about my birthday. Like the world owed me something. Like I was entitled to be treated special. And so I got stuck in my head. And if you can't get out of your head, you're dead, right? Kind of thing. And so I realized contribution and giving and serving is really happiness. So that's why I'm doing this. I get happy. 2, when I make a difference in other people's lives and your lives, it adds meaning. Creating meaningful experiences to you adds meaning to me. 3, people have asked me to do this. So I'm doing it. 4, it's something that I wish I would have had. If somebody had offered me this, I would have probably been suspicious. 2, oh my gosh, I don't want people to know where I'm at in my life. So pride. Or I would have been like, yeah, I need some help. Now, if somebody offered this now, I'd be jump all over it. 4, it's my purpose. 5, I can help you. I got a track record of helping people, and I'm committed to helping you. I don't know if I'll ever do this again, free. So I'm committed to helping you. 6 or 7, whatever, coaches helped me. And then the last one, I'd like to whitelist this. Your success is my success. If the more you succeed, the more I feel like I'm a success in life. So the question is, you got to ask yourself, can this guy really help me? Yeah, I can. I can help you. And I'm willing to help you. But you got to follow this framework, right? So coaching, right? Coaching. A typical coach would charge anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a year. I had a friend that charges $50,000 a year for coaching. Tony Robbins probably makes $100,000 per coach. He coaches presidents, right? Because the ROI is, the return on investment is huge. And if that's something you want down the road, reach out, we'll work something out. But that's not why I'm here for this. So summarizing the framework so far is what? Clarity, get committed. I'm committed. 3 is what? Coaching. 4 is confidence. This is the number one thing of all high performers. What's a high performer? People who sustain success at a high level over a period of time is confidence. Confidence can mean a couple things. One is everything is figure outable. Have you ever walked into a room and said, oh my gosh, I could never do that? I've always taught my kids this. Add the word yet. Dad, I could never do that. You mean yet? Of course you can't do it now. You've never even tried. You haven't failed. Haven't got on the bike and wrecked yet. Yet. So say yet. I was with my brother-in-law. He was working on computers the other day. I don't know how to open a computer, let alone work on a computer. But I just walked in the room and I said, you know what? I could figure it out. Everything is figure-outable. Everything is figure-outable. It might take me longer, but it's figure-outable. And it affects everything. And listen, when you look back on your last decade, 2010 to 2019, you accomplished some things. You did it. And you can do this now. Those pick two, you can do these two things. You have to believe that it's figure-outable and that you can do this. So as we get into this, I want you to type down below, what is something you're proud of from the last decade? We want to build your confidence here. What's something from the last decade that you did that you're proud of? It could be, I caught a fish. It could be, I tried a new food. I don't care how small or how big. I took a trip to Europe. Whatever it is, type down below something you're proud of. Yeah. Anybody proud of anything? If you're watching the Alabama-Michigan game off, turn it on mute. I changed jobs. That's a big one. Went on a few mission trips. I published my first book. Okay, now you need to learn how to sell that book. What else? I got an internship. Nice. I survived an abusive marriage. Congratulations. That had to have sucked. Glad you got out of that thing. I flew to Washington, D.C., and you said you'd never fly. Good for you. People ask for help. Self-worth. Paid off debt. Yeah, keep typing. My wife's painting in the other room, and I'm getting high. Anybody getting high? Okay, so look, everything's figure-outable. In your pick two, here's the challenge, okay? That's awesome. That's awesome, guys. Way to go. That's a lot of cool stuff. Left an abusive marriage. I volunteered. I mean, you guys are awesome. You guys are inspiring me. You got to believe so much that you can succeed in these pick two. You ready for this? That it's a violation of your integrity if you don't accomplish it. What? Aaron, it's just something that I could do. No. Like, you got to believe in your core that you're going to do it. That if you don't do it, it's such a shock to your system that it's like a violation of who you are. You get it? Like if you're a faith person, you could say, you know what? It's a sin if I don't accomplish it. But Aaron, it's not a sin. I didn't say it was. I said you got to work yourself into the belief that, because otherwise, this is just like a hobby. You're going to give it a shot. Like someone put earlier, there's no other option. Right? There's no backup plan. You're going to do this. You guys, you need to do this. You joined today. This is unbelievable. You ought to be very proud of yourself. This does not make you a failure if you don't do it. It just means you violated something that you committed to, right? And that's not who you are. You're going to hold true to what you want to do. And most of us don't do it because we're scared, right? And so we'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But look, all this big goal stuff starts with small wins. Why does it start with small wins? Because confidence is about keeping promises that you make to yourself, right? That's all it is. And so people say, well, I want to lose 500 pounds. I want to lose 50 pounds. Well, how about instead of saying that, because you know what your brain's going to do? It's going to remind you that you didn't do it the last 13 times. Instead of doing that, have that as your goal. But today, instead of just saying that, say, you know what? Today, when they order pizza, instead of eating 4 slices, I promised to myself I will eat 3.5 slices. Start small. You get it? And then when you only eat 3.5 pieces, you can go to bed that night feeling proud of yourself that you're keeping your promises to yourself. And something happens on the inside where your confidence grows. And the more your confidence grows, the more your momentum grows. And then you're on your way to achieving your best decade ever. What about little things like getting married that are not totally unknown? You need to, what about getting married? That's out of your control. And you got to make that in your control. Like, if you know me, I went after Pandy, as she said no, probably 777 times. And I could have said it was out of my control. Shotgun wedding, there you go. But I pursued her, and I guess there's a small difference between stalking and winning a woman's heart. But hey, she said yes. We're gonna work on this confidence thing every week, and we're gonna build you into like this huge confident person. All right. So what's one small thing? What's one small action you can take between now and next Wednesday? That it's a promise you're making to yourself that you will make one step towards your goal or your dream. Yes, habits, right? One small thing that you'll do, type that below. Keep that promise to yourself. Heck, if it were me, I would make something, creeper, yeah, kind of am. I would make it something I could do in the next 5 minutes after I'm off the video. Get it done. Promise myself. And then you know what? I did that. That's all confidence is, keeping the promises that you make with yourself. But what happens is people are breaking the promises that they make them themselves, and so then they don't feel like they can do anything. Look, type those out. What do you got? What's one small thing you can do? Follow my eating program I've set up for myself. Okay, Natalie, what about saying, following my eating program I've set up for myself and following it today? Setting up a budget plan using Excel. Okay. How about saying set up the rough draft of my budget plan? Because you may make changes. Get my water intake. Lay off my Diet Pepsi. Okay. So today you could say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to drink as much Diet Pepsi, or I'm going to drink 1 extra glass of water. Exercise. So what does that mean? I'm going to walk around the block today. Make this really simple. Make it simple, friends. Put into savings the money I choose not to spend. Yeah, otherwise you're going to get on Amazon and they're going to have a deal. Drink a full glass of water. Yeah, go do it. Go get it right now, Elizabeth. Just get it done. Professor, go get your water right now. Finish 4-hour work week on Audible. Halfway there. Yeah, Tim Ferriss, good dude. Go to the gym 4 times in the next 7 days. Okay, that's a big goal. You can make those. Just keep it simple. 3 times this week, okay? All right, very good. You got to have a small action step. My friends, you belong in your dreams. You belong in your dreams. We're going to set up fun competitions along the way this year to where you're going to be able to touch your dreams, get to your dreams, and it'll be fun. But you belong in them. They're not cruel wishes. Oh my gosh, I could never do that. You can. The person you're admiring is probably not as happy as you think they are. And second of all, you can succeed at what they're succeeding at. So look, clarity, commit, coach, and confidence. You got to have all those. And then 5th is competence. 5th is competence. Let me put it this way. What is one thing you think you've been holding on to that's been holding you back from achieving your pick 2 up to this point? What's one thing? Is it food? Is it spending? Is it a person, a location, a belief, a habit? Type that below. What's one belief or habit or person or location that's been holding you back from succeeding at your pick 2? Because sometimes the easiest thing to do is start to let go of some things, and that'll propel you fast. towards what you want. All right, type that below. What's one thing that's been holding you back? Feeling not good enough. That couldn't have come at a more appropriate time. I'll address that. Toxic people, past hurts. Yep. That's actually conditioned in your brain and your emotions. So you got to get reconditioned, which we'll talk about in the coaching program. Pressure of time, there's never enough. Or is it priorities? It's both. Because if there was 36 hours, you'd still feel the same way. Letting go of people, yeah, fear, yeah, absolutely, fear. Financial literacy in youth, yep. That's for sure. Paralysis by analysis, that'd kill you. So good, identify those things. Be honest. Lack of discipline. Yeah, discipline is freedom. The more disciplined you are with things, the more free you will be. Quit being negative, yep. Past failures, yep. All these are normal, guys. All these are normal. That doesn't make you a bad person. So look, everybody's asking, how do I make all this stuff happen? Every time I coach people, how do I make this happen? They always start with the how, which isn't really till the 5th step, okay? They don't even commit first. Every week, every Wednesday, we're going to address and give you strategies to take the next action step to overcome some of this stuff that you're mentioning. And next week, by the way, I'm going to give you the number one way or strategy to rocket fuel, literally rocket fuel you to accomplish these two things. Without next week, it's going to take you like a lot longer. Yeah, Elizabeth, willpower. Environment is stronger than willpower. So think in terms of your environments, like that you're set up in. Like there's triggers in your environments that are creating lack of willpower too. Willpower is a real thing, but environment's stronger. So again, next week we'll give you that. Here's the biggest issue, I bet, for all of us, is we don't think we're enough. Raise your hand if you don't think that you're enough on many occasions. You walk into a room, I could never lift weights like that. I'm not enough. I can't go in that room. Or those are millionaires over there. I'm not enough. I can't do that. Or that job, I could never apply for that job. Nope, not enough. Or ask that person on a date. I could never ask that person on a date. I am not enough. Right? I can never do the marathon because I'm not enough. Well, this is a recurring thought. We never think that we're enough. And I see a couple people raising their hand on that one. And I've addressed this before, but it's worth addressing again. That problem, where does that come from? Somebody sent me a message asking me to speak. Okay, I'll address that later. Yeah, we don't feel like we're enough. There's an 8-to-1 ratio. Okay, remember growing up in your house? 8-to-1 ratio. Write that down. 8:1. Every time you ask mom and dad, hey, can I have a cookie? What'd they say? No! Hey, can I stay up later? No! Can I go ride my bike again? No! Can I do this? No! Can I get some ice cream? No! Can we please go to the movies? No! Can we do this? No! Or go ask your mom. No! And every now and then you get a yes. 8, every time you ask. Out of every 9 times, the data psychologist shows 8 are said no. There's nothing wrong with saying no. The problem is, all right, it's an easy thing to say to a child. And what the child hears is what? I'm not enough. Hey, Dad, will you play with me? Son's coming in. Hey, Dad, will you play? I remember when I was writing my second book, my daughter came in and she would ask me, hey, Dad, will you play with me? And I said, no, I'm writing. And one day I heard her sister say, hey, will you play with me? To her sister. And she goes, no, I'm busy writing. And I went in my room and I just cried. And what I found out was, I'm not crying right now, but that sun's coming in, is when a child hears no like that, they walk away thinking, I'm not enough. I'm not enough. Hey, Dad, can I go play on the monkey bars? No, I'm not enough. He doesn't think I'm strong enough. Hey, can I cross the street? No, you need to look both ways. You need to hold hands. Oh, I'm not enough to do this on my own. And a lot of that's very important to tell kids, but all of us grow up hearing that 8-to-1 ratio every single day. So it gets in our subconscious because up to the age of 9, our subconscious, which is our automatic nervous system, is forming. And by the age of 20, something like that, it's literally shaped. Thank goodness for neuroplasticity, where we can reshape our neurons, neurological connection. So now what happens? Why do I say all that? Because now as adults, here's what's happening. Let's say you audition or you do a play and you're on stage and you knock it out of the park, and someone comes up to you later and says, you knocked it out of the park. You were awesome. You were awesome. And you say, yeah, but that one part I really messed up. They have no idea what you're talking about. But all you can focus on is that bad part. Why? Because you have something in your brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS for short, which is your filter system for what gets in your brain. So there's literally neuroscientists tell us there's 3 trillion bits of information around your brain, and every single second, like there's water over there, a sky, a calendar, a fan. I haven't even noticed any of it while I've been talking to you. Why? Because my brain, listen to this, and your brain only takes in 300 bits of information every second, because the RAS is filtering out that 200 trillion plus bits of information. And so what 300 actually get into our brain? I'm not strong enough. I'm not good enough. It's survival software. The brain has linked itself just to survive. And it views my words to you, your own words to you, as filtering through, I just need to survive. I may not be enough. So we lock into our comfort zone. We don't want to take risks because we get nervous. That's where all that comes from. It's why you don't start the business. It's why you don't go public. It's why you won't speak on the stage, and it perpetuates itself, right? So what I want you to do is, if you're next to somebody, turn to them and say, I'm stronger than I think, and my future is bright. I'm stronger than I think, or my future is bright. If you're near a mirror, look in the mirror and say, I'm stronger than I think, and my future is bright. If you want to type it underneath, I'm stronger than I think, and my future is bright. So look, I'm skimming over this stuff, but this is the framework, right? I got one more, but there's clarity. There's commitment. There's coach. There's confidence. And there's competence, meaning you know how to do things, or you believe in yourself to get it done. The last part of the framework is certainty. You got to flood your life, flood your brain, flood your heart, flood your emotions with certainty. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, if I said I'm going to start my business and I'm going to make $50,000 this year, I'm going to make this happen. I'm absolutely confident and certain that I'm going to do this. So the number one sale you need to make, and everybody's in sales. You sell your spouse to go to the movies. You sell your kid to stop asking. Right? You sell a product, whatever. You're in sales. The number one sale you can make every day is to sell yourself that you can do this every day. I can do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm worthy of this. My friends, you are worthy of this. You have to believe that you have value, that you have worth, that you have dignity, that you only have so much time on this planet and you're gone. Like, you're gone. So you are worthy, you are valuable, you can do this. It's got to be an obsession and not just a hobby or a passion. Like, I think I can do this. It's got to be obsessed. You've heard about the guy, right, who went to his mentor and said, hey, listen, I want to make 6 figures this year, or $1 million this year, however the story goes. And the mentor is like, you're not going to be able to do it. I can tell by your vibration. I can tell by your energy. And the guy knows, no, I can do it. And he's like, all right, fine. Meet me tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. down on the beach by the ocean. And the guy's, why would I do that? Are you committed or are you not? So he meets the mentor down by the beach, and he's actually there at 5:45 to show the mentor that he can even be there earlier than necessary. And the mentor arrives at 5:59 p.m. and says, all right, follow me out into the water. And the guy's like, it's cold in the water. I'm not going in the water. He's like, are you committed or not? So he says, fine. Takes off his shoes and socks, rolls up his pants, walks into the ocean. And the mentor says, turn around. And as he's turning around, the mentor, grabs him around the waist and throws him under the water and holds him under the water. It goes 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. The guy under the water starts flipping out and trying to get out, and eventually gets up and says, what are you doing? And before the question can even be finished, the mentor throws him back down and is holding him under this freezing cold water that feels like icicles stabbing his body. And it goes 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, gets up to 30 seconds time, brings him back up, and he's like, I can't breathe. What are you doing? I need to be able to breathe. Before he can finish his statement, the mentor throws him back down, and this time holds him as strong as he can. The guy's underwater. He's flipping out. He's freaking out. And he's got one thought on his mind. I got to get out of this water, and I'm going to punch this guy in the face, and I'm going to get out of here forever. And he finds his way out of the water, and he throws the mentor. The mentor lands in the water, comes up out of the water, and says, are you ready? And the guy goes, what was that all about? And the guy goes, as soon as you want to succeed in your goal of making this money or starting this business or losing this weight, as bad as you wanted to breathe, then you'll succeed. You get it? Is what's happened all across the world today is people make New Year's resolutions. Hey man, I'm writing these things down. Look, honey, I got these resolutions. It's got to be like oxygen. And if it's not, well, you're going to want to tune in next week because I'll show you how it's like oxygen, right? I'll show you how it's like oxygen. So listen. If you found any value in today, type underneath what's the one thing that you're going to take away. Hopefully there's many, but type underneath one thing. And then on social media, if you think, you know what? I wish so-and-so could hear this. I wish I could be accountability with somebody. Or these 10 friends, or maybe your social media feed. Comment below. Or comment in your social media feed what you got out of this to inspire people. Because there's still time this week to get in. Next week, I'm going to give you the number one coaching strategy to add rocket fuel to make this real for you and not just inspirational. To make it real. I hope you come back, my friends. I hope you're in. You've committed, and that's a contract with your soul. Okay, so look, Happy New Year's, much love. It is 2:05. I honor you for showing up, and I'm going to get you out of here on time. If you have questions, I'll come back in a little bit later. I'm going to go down and give my honey a hug, and she's painting, and spend some time with my kids. I was preparing for you today. Love you guys. I'm proud of you. I want to help you. I'm here to help you. That's it. I want to help you. You got to commit. You got to do these things. Much love.